Okay, I'm going to do a review for exam 1, and the review is looking at the review quiz that's on Canvas. So I'm actually going to be looking at all the questions. Your actual review quiz, it um it takes like a certain number of questions from this test bank that I have. So you'll see more questions here than you'll probably see when you take it. But every time you take it, it uh, basically takes different questions from the test bank. Okay, so there's going to be some questions on the test that have to do with order of operation. So this is looking at order of operation. It's also looking to see if you know what happens when you divide and you have an integer and an integer on this side. So with order of operation, we're going to do the parentheses first. After parentheses, you're going to do multiplication, division, and modulus. Those have the same priority. So it doesn't matter what comes first is what you do first. So here multiplication comes first. So we would do that. Like if the parentheses were not here, we would do multiplication, then division. But the parentheses are here, so we have to do what's inside first. And then plus and minus have third priority. So here 3 plus 1 is 4. And then we're going to do 15 divided by 4. But this is integer division for programming. It means that you just drop everything that's a decimal. So you're just looking to see how many times does 4 go into 15 evenly. So 4 goes into 15 evenly 3 times, because 3 times 4 is 12, right? So 3 times 4 is 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. That's the remainder. So the remainder would be modulus. Division would be the whole number. So this 15 divided by 4 gives me 3. And if I did on my calculator, if I do 15 divided by 4, I get 3.75. So that 0.75 gets dropped. Okay, so we just have 3. And then now we do 4 times 3, and we get 12. No decimals. Okay, so after the following code execute, what is the value of my value if the user enters a 0? So the user see in my value, so user enters 0 here. It says, is 0 greater than 5? That would be false. So then it goes to this next else if. Is 0 greater than 2? No. So it's going to do this statement here. So it takes 0, adds 15 to it, and this becomes 15 here. There's a way to scroll down. Nope. Okay. Oh, so I have to clear everything to go down. Okay, let's see how we clear this. Sorry, give me a second. I have to figure out how to clear. Annotate. Oh, there it is. Okay. What is the output of the following segment if the user enters 23? So right here it says enter a number, seeing number. So the user enters 23 for number. And we say, is 23 greater than 0? That would be true. So it prints high there. This operator represents the logical and. We don't see the answers here, but the and operator is 2 and signs. And here we're looking at what is the output of the following code. So we start with W equals 98. These values are assigned to W, X, Y, Z. So we're gonna, X is 99. So we're gonna put 99 here. And then it says, is 99 greater than or equal to 99? That would be true. So when this is true, it goes in here. So it's never going to go in here. This is only if it's false. So now we look at X again and says, is X less than 99? That would be false. So this is false. So we see out Z. So Z is a 1. So we see out a 1. Okay. So let's take a look at this one. It says, select all that apply given X equals 5, Y equals 6, 6 equals 8. Which of the following are false? Okay, so X is a 5. So we're going to put a 5 here. So is 5 equal to 5? That's true. Here we're going to put 5 for X. Y is going to have a 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. Is 5 less than 8? That's true. Z is 8. Is 8 less than or equal to 4? That's false. 8 is bigger. Y is 6. Z is 8. X is 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. Is 6 greater than 3? True. Z is 8. Y is 6. X is 5. So this gives me 11. So 5 plus 6, or 6 plus 5. And then it says, is 8 greater than or equal to 11? That's false. And then this one, Y is 6. Is 6 less than or equal to 6? That's true. This last question here, it says, what will the cout statement display? So it's going to display answer equals, right? It's going to have these words, answer equals, and then this is going to, if it's a true statement, it's going to give us 1. If it's false, it's going to give us 0. Okay. So here we're also doing order of operation. So for Booleans, these are called the or, the not, and the and are called Boolean operators. Boolean operators. And the order of operation is not is first, and is done second, and or is done third. So if we have these 3 in an equation like we have here, we have to do this first, this second, this third. Okay. So Y is a 1, Z is a 0, and X is a 2. Okay. So we're going to say not 1. So basically it gives us the opposite of 1 is, the opposite of 1 would be 0. So this gives us 0. So we have 0 and 0. So this is going to give us a true. So sorry. So 0 is false and 0 is false. So actually false and false gives us a false. So this gives us false here. Now this is kind of weird. This has a 2. This actually gives us a true. And the reason being is that, like, so basically we're saying, is this true? Yes. We're not comparing it to anything, but this still gives us a true statement on this side. So now we have true or false. So true or false will give us a true statement. So when you have an or, what you have to remember is that only one side of on the relational or the comparison, one side of the Boolean operator has to be true for this to be a true statement. So all these would give us a true. True or true would be true. True or false would be true. False or true would give us a true. The only way we can get a false with an or is if we have two false statements on each side. So the only way this can be false is if this is false or this side is false. So what I want to do is do this for a second. So I'm going to say, let me clear this. Online GDB. Name space. Standard. So we're gonna, let's do a C out. And we're gonna look at, see, where's my, we're gonna do not 1 and 0. Let's do that one first, not 1 and 0. So let's see what not 1 gives us. So not 1 gives us a 0, right? And if we say and 0, this is already 0 with an and. Only one side has to be false for this whole thing to give us a false. So it really doesn't matter what's over here. This is going to give us a false, and false is 0. So this thing gives us false, gives us 0. Then we had C out 2. Well, I guess 2 doesn't give us anything, but let's just put it here, 2 or not 1 and 0. So order of operations says do the not 1 first, then do the and, then do the or last. So here we're just going to get a 2. We don't have a C out. See. There are 2 or, okay, so it just interprets the X as a 2. So I guess it just outputs a 2 instead of thinking that this is a true statement. Let me just put the parentheses just to make sure that that's correct. Oh, there we go. So now it gives us a true. Okay. So if we put the parentheses, it does gives us a true statement. So it's going to interpret this as true, the 2 by itself. And then this is definitely false. We know this is false. So true or false will be true. Thought maybe I was misreading this somehow. Okay, let's look at this next one. Given the following code segment, what is the output? So again, you're going to fill this in. So here we have X is 1, Y is 1. y is 1, x is 1. Okay, so we're going to do this one also here. So remember in this example, the way you read this is, if this is true, it's going to print y. If this is false, it's going to print x. So that's how you read the question mark with the semicolon. So if this is true, it does this first. Whatever it is here that you have first before the semicolon, false does the second semicolon. Okay, so let me trash that. So we have x less than y. And this is like an if statement. So we got to put the parentheses, then the question mark, and then we're going to do x if true, y if false. So let's make it be true first and false second. So we'll make x equal 1, and we'll make y equal 1. So this is going to be false first. And actually, since x and y are the same, it's kind of hard to tell if it's true or false because they're all 1. Oh, I didn't even see this here. Okay, let me see. So here it says y plus z. So y plus z. So that makes, so y changes to 2. Okay, so that's a 2 now. That's a 2. X equals, x is a 1. Y changed to 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So x is now 3. So this is 3. This is 3. So is 3 less than 2? That's false. So it's going to print 3. This is false. So let's do that over here. And then it said x equals x plus y. Y equals y plus z. Okay, I think I've got this correct. So y plus z would be 2. And now y is 2, x is 1, so this would be 3. Then is 3 less than 2 false, so it should print the y, which is 2. And there's a 2. And then I'm going to make it true so that it prints x. So I'm going to change this sign here. X is 3. Is 3 greater than 2? Yes. So it should print 3. Right there. So you just have to know how to read this. Again, this is like an if statement. If this is true, it does this. If it's false, it does this. Okay? Let's look at the next one. So it's just asking which of these evaluate first. So again, we're looking at order of operation. So the not is going to evaluate first. So this is first. And then we do this. This is second. 2. Then this whole thing here would be third. 3. And then finally, we would do the or. So if this is true and this is true, then the or would give us a true. If this is false, we don't know the values of A, B, C, D, so we don't know what's going to evaluate to, but the or would be last, or would be the fourth thing that you evaluate. Okay, because the order is not and then or. Okay. What is the value of the following expression? So a true and a true gives you a true. The table for and is with and everything is false unless you have two trues. So true and true gives you true. Everything else would be false. False and true gives you false. True and false gives you false. And then false and false gives you false. It's the opposite of the or. So everything is false with an and, because it's and, it means you have to meet both. When you have an and, you have to meet both criterias. Like you've got to to vote, you have to be at least 18 and registered in whatever city, like let's say you're going to vote in Collin County, you have to be at least 18 and be registered in Collin County. That's an and. So you don't have an option. Okay, let's clear that. What is the value of result after the following code executes? So A 60, B is 15, result equals 10. Okay, so this is a trick question. We have one equal sign. So what happens here is we're not comparing. Comparing is two equal signs. So here what the computer does is assigns B to A. So A changes to 15. And then this right here, this line's going to happen whether this line happens no matter what. Because you're just saying, hey, assign B to A, and then it just does this line. It doesn't tell you true, false. It just does this line no matter what. So here, let's see, A got changed. That doesn't matter. And so then we would say result equals, just in case this confuses you, this is result equals result times 2. Okay, I cannot write very fast with this. Result times 2. So result is 10. So 10 times 2 is 20. So result is going to be 20. So when you have just one equal sign, it assigns, and then it just does this no matter what. Now, if you had two equal signs and it compared, it would have been false, and result would have stayed at 10. Okay, if you intend to place a block of statements within an if statement, you must place blank around the block. So a block means this. A block means that you have curly braces. So the block is the stuff in between the curly braces. So if you intend to place a block of statements within an if, more than one statement, you got to have the curly braces. What's the value of donuts after the following statement executes? So here you have donuts equals 10. Again, they just have one equal sign. So since they only have one equal sign, it's always going to do this line. It's never going to do this line here. So it assigns 1 to donuts. Donuts becomes 1 here. It changes it to 1. And then here it changes it to 0. So it's going to be 0. Let's try that out just so you can see it. So we'd say integer donuts equals 10. if D is equal to, sorry, my brain, 1. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then what I'll do is I'll just do a C out. And I'll do here, else C out. I just want you to see where it's going. Does it go here or does it go there? So if these were two equal signs, D would not be equal to 1, so it would print out this. But there's only one equal sign. So it prints out here, because it just makes D equal to 1. Also, if I print D equals D, let's see what it prints out. So it says here, D equals 1. So this here changed the value of D. It did not compare D. Two equal signs will then compare. This would be false because 10 is not equal to 1, and so it would print there. All right, so make sure you look at that, pay attention to that on the exam. What will be displayed after the following statements execute? So here you need to know what percent does. Serious is 16. 16 modulus 2. What that does is it gives you the remainder. So 2 goes into 16 8 times evenly with a remainder of 0. 8 times 2 is 16, remainder 0. So funny is going to have the value of 0. So then it says, if funny is not equal to 1, well, is 0 not equal to 1? That's true. 0 is not equal to 1. So it does this right here. It doesn't do else if, else. And then it C outs this right here. So it's C out 0 and 0. You can type that up if you want and try it out. What is the output of the following code segment? X equals 5. Oh gosh, again, they just put one equal sign. So again, one equal sign will assign 2 to X. So X now is a 2. It's going to print out this line. It's not going to print out this line right here, but it will print out this line also. So the if statement is just this, because there are no curly braces. This line is just the rest of the program. If you wanted this second line to be part of the else, you would need curly braces here to keep it as part of the else. But we don't have those curly braces, so we're going to do, it prints out this line and it prints out this line. Okay, and the second one here, it says enter a 0 or a 1. C in X. It says after the following code execute, what is the output if the user enters 0? Okay, so if the user enters 0 here, this -1 goes away and it becomes 0. And it says if, I think this is an error. This is supposed to say if X, because there's no C, okay? So it's going to say if 0. Well, 0 is false. That is what 0 is. 0 is false. So if false, we do this line right here. Let's take a look at that one. So like here, if I say if 0, then it's going to output here. I want it to output here. I mean, sorry, if false, let's run it. There we go. So if false, it outputs there. If true, it outputs here. Now for true here, I can put any number. I can put 1 and it outputs here. I can put 2 and it outputs here. It doesn't matter what number you put here. It's going to It's only 0. So if you put 0, it definitely goes to the false. Anything else is going to go to true. It's just the way the if statement works, okay? Which line in the following program will cause a compiler error? Let's see. So here we have less than greater than sign. Here we have our semicolon. We have curly braces. We have return 0. We have cons, and we have the word cons, the data type, value. Okay, so this line will cause an error. When you have a constant, you cannot change that constant. Here is trying to change my val to 99, and that's not allowed because it's a constant. Which of the following statements? Okay, can't see that one. Okay, so that's the end of looking at this first section. This first section, I'm looking at conditional statements, if statements, relational operators. So I'm going to stop this little section of the review. So this is reviewing chapter 4. So then the next little review will start with this next section, which should be, this is all about chapter 2. Okay. And then, well, actually, there's a few stuff in the next section that talks about switch statements. So chapter 2, switch statements. This is chapter 3, set with. Yeah. So we'll do that on the next one. Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop there. Thank you.